Do you struggle to let go of the pain and suffering in your life? Do you feel overwhelmed by negative events and find it hard to accept what's beyond your control? In this video, you will explore ways to find inner peace and resilience by learning to accept things as they are and detach from the negative aspects of life that you cannot change. Indeed, our sense of well-being is under constant threat when we cling to the unpredictable and unreliable outside world. About 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosopher Epictetus observed that people feel burdened and weighed down because they care about too many things. His solution isn't to stop caring entirely, but to focus on caring about the right things and to let go of what doesn't matter. According to Epictetus, what matters and what doesn't is determined by our reality as rational beings in an ever-changing world. He emphasizes this in his core principle, the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our control and others are not. When we focus on what we can control, we are strong. When we ignore these and focus on what we can't control, we are weak. Clinging to things outside our control sets us up for a life of suffering. But what are these things we cling to, and why is it better to let them go? This video delves into the philosophy of Epictetus, exploring what we should focus on to find happiness and contentment, what we should let go of, and how to do this effectively. The foundation of Epictetus's philosophy is found in his works Discourses and Enchiridion, where his teachings were documented by his student Arrian. These ancient texts provide valuable insights into achieving contentment and inner peace, as well as strengthening our minds against external circumstances that we might otherwise find hurtful. In the first chapter of Discourses, Epictetus emphasizes that outside circumstances can only harm us if we allow them to. He illustrates this with the example of exile. Being exiled doesn't stop him from remaining cheerful and serene. However, if he had viewed exile as a great tragedy or clung to his possessions and the people he left behind, he would have suffered greatly. Epictetus understood that while we can't control the fact of being exiled, we can control our reaction to it. Thus, he focused on maintaining his cheerfulness and serenity. If we concentrate solely on what we can control and let go of everything else, nothing external can harm us. But what exactly is within our control, and what isn't? In the first chapter of Enchiridion, Epictetus explains, some things are in our control, and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions. In essence, the outside world is beyond our control, but how we choose to act and position ourselves toward it is within our control. Epictetus does not suggest we should be indifferent to everything. Instead, he advocates for living a good and moral life in harmony with nature, which is entirely within our control. However, he warns against clinging to things outside our control because they are fickle, weak, and unreliable. The external world, filled with pleasures and delights, often captures our interest and desire. Yet, these are the very things that can cause us pain when we lose them. What we gain and lose is subject to fortune. If our happiness depends on things beyond our control, we are at the mercy of fortune. To develop a strong and stable sense of well-being, it is crucial to stop clinging to things we cannot control. Epictetus offers guidance on how to do this by emphasizing the power of our reasoning and devaluing external possessions and circumstances. For this video, I've restructured these ideas to enhance usability, drawing from Epictetus's teachings beyond the first chapter of Enchiridion. From a Stoic perspective, I have distilled 3 categories of things we should stop clinging to for a better, more resilient life. Before we begin, I kindly ask you to like the video to support spreading Stoic philosophy. If you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. 1. Let go of attachments to objects, people, and power. It's common for us to become deeply attached to not only the people we love, but also to the objects we possess. This attachment often gets confused with love, leading to possessive behaviors. We cherish the presence of loved ones, but feel immense pain when they leave us. Tragically, we often suffer the anticipated loss of someone even before it happens, tormenting ourselves with imagined scenarios. Holding on tightly to someone or something brings continuous pain as we resist the inevitable separation that life brings. In extreme cases, the fear of losing someone or being abandoned can become an obsession, dominating our lives and actions. This attachment extends to power as well. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus noted that power is insatiable. Gaining power often leads to a desire for even more power. Those corrupted by power have historically caused immense suffering because they refuse to relinquish it, constantly seeking more and more, which only leads to stress and unhappiness. The irony is that while power suggests control, it is actually beyond our control. It can be given and taken away at any moment. Resisting the impermanent nature of life is foolish. To live in harmony with nature, as the Stoics teach, we must embrace the transient nature of existence. But how do we do this? Epictetus offers simple yet profound advice on how to approach the world concerning objects, people, and power. He suggests we treat life like a dinner party. If something is brought to you, reach out and take your share with moderation. If it passes by you, let it go. If it hasn't arrived yet, don't stretch your desire towards it, but wait patiently until it comes to you. Apply this mindset to children, a spouse, public positions, and wealth, and you will become a worthy participant in the feast of life, just like the gods. Epictetus further explains that if we can even decline the things set before us, we'll not only be guests at the gods' feasts, but also partners in their empire. This idea underscores living in harmony with nature, accepting things as they are instead of fighting against them. Epictetus aims to strengthen us against the pain of loss by altering our perceptions of the things we cherish. Rather than viewing ourselves as owners of our possessions or feeling entitled to them or to people, we should see everything as borrowed. He famously stated, "Never say of anything, 'I have lost it.' Instead, say, 'I have returned it.' Is your child dead? They are returned. Is your spouse dead? They are returned. Is your property taken away? It is returned, but the person who took it is bad. What difference does it make who retrieves it, as long as the giver has assigned it to be taken back? While you have it, take care of it, but don't view it as your own, just as travelers see a hotel as a temporary stay." Epictetus's perspective aligns closely with reality. We truly don't own anything but our ability to reason, because if we did own our children, spouses, or property, we wouldn't be able to lose them. Hence, thinking of everything as borrowed is more accurate, as there's always a time to return what isn't ours. Clinging to borrowed items is a surefire way to experience pain. According to Epictetus, it's perfectly fine to have and enjoy things as long as we're ready to let go of them when the time comes. This mindset helps us live without unnecessary attachment, reducing our suffering and fostering a more peaceful existence. 2. Let go of the opinions of others. We often place immense value on what others think about us, going to great lengths to be liked. But why do we do this? In today's world, being disliked rarely threatens our survival, unlike in ancient times when tribal acceptance was crucial for safety. Although a positive reputation can bring benefits, like making friends, finding a partner, or securing a job, Epictetus argues that these external factors are less important than our inner peace. Epictetus advises not to be upset when we aren't invited to events, especially if we don't care for the host. Being invited to a party requires effort and praise, so if we're not willing to engage with someone, we shouldn't be surprised if we're excluded. Missing out on a party might mean losing some joy, but we also avoid the need to praise someone we don't like or tolerate their behavior. This, according to Epictetus, is a worthwhile trade-off. Constantly seeking approval is exhausting. We end up praising people we don't admire and attending social events we don't enjoy. which doesn't contribute to our tranquility. Epictetus emphasizes that if maintaining our peace means being laughed at or ridiculed, then so be it. We must accept being perceived as foolish if that's what it takes to achieve inner freedom and calm. At the end of the day, the opinions of others are beyond our control, but how much we let them affect us is within our power. Do we let others' opinions guide us, or do we acknowledge them and then let them go? It's about using our ability to form opinions about opinions wisely. Epictetus reminds us that it's not the person who insults us that causes harm, but our own judgment that perceives it as harmful. He said, "Remember that not he who gives ill language or a blow insults, but the principle which represents these things as insulting. When therefore anyone provokes you, be assured that it is your own opinion which provokes you." By focusing on our own judgments rather than others' opinions, we can maintain our equanimity and inner peace. 3. Let go of outcomes and ideas. The universe doesn't cater to our desires. When we try to control it, we always end up losing. Trying to change what is beyond our control is a battle we can't win. Yet many people are constantly preoccupied with how things should have been, how they should be now, and how they should be in the future. The more we resist reality, the more we suffer. Epictetus uses the example of how we should treat a servant to illustrate this point. Even though a servant is expected to be obedient, Epictetus acknowledges that it's in the servant's nature to not always act as we want. So, what's more important? That the servant is never disobedient, or that the master remains happy? We can't have both. Accepting that the servant won't always behave as we wish is the price we pay for our own peace of mind. This idea can be applied to anything in life. We can't expect the world to be free of offenses. Trying to silence people who offend us won't change the fact that someone will always find something offensive. Instead of imposing unrealistic ideals on others, it's more beneficial to start with kindness ourselves, which is within our control. Others might follow our example, but that's not something we can dictate. Epictetus advises, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. He emphasizes that while we can't control the world, we can control our attitude towards it. Someone might insult us, but they can't control how we respond. Someone might take our possessions, but they can't control our feelings about it. Our spouses might cheat on us, but it's up to us how much this affects us. The events of the world are beyond our control. If we cling to them, we suffer. But if we accept them and focus on living well despite the whims of fate, we thrive. As we wrap up, remember this: life is filled with challenges, unexpected events, and circumstances beyond our control. But, as Epictetus teaches us, our sense of peace and well-being doesn't have to be at the mercy of the external world. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses, we can navigate life's storms with grace and resilience. When we stop clinging to material possessions, the opinions of others, and rigid expectations, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We become stronger, more adaptable, and more at peace with the flow of life. Embracing Epictetus's philosophy is not about giving up on life, but about engaging with it more fully, with a clear and tranquil mind. So, let go of what you can't control and hold fast to your inner strength and wisdom. Face each day with the knowledge that while you can't dictate the course of events, you can always choose how you respond. This is the essence of true freedom and the path to enduring happiness. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the wisdom of Epictetus. If you found value in these teachings, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on living a fulfilled and meaningful life. Together, let's continue to grow and thrive, no matter what life throws our way. We've reached the end of our discussion, and I hope these insights have been helpful to you. Remember, you're an important part of this channel and community. If this video has helped you reflect, learn something new, or simply resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up so more people can benefit from Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't yet, Check out our ebook on Stoicism and how to apply it in your life. Subscribe for a daily dose of Stoic wisdom and a more fulfilling life.